Finally, the Force has awakened! Let's talk about it. No spoilers. Right from the opening crawl, Force Awakens sucks you in. There's nothing about taxes or trade federations or tariffs or voting. It's just 3 paragraphs of a very Star Wars story, and it shows you the direction you're going to be headed in. From there, though, they do take you into some unfamiliar territory. It takes a while for you to get to the classic characters that you know, and they spend a lot of time introducing and developing the stories of the new characters. And I think it's a very bold move that they didn't say, well, this is Star Wars, so we have to take as much Star Wars as we can and cram into all these scenes to make them iconic instantly. There are a lot of scenes, especially at the beginning of this movie, where right now they may not be a big deal to us, but once the trilogy is complete, 10, 20 years from now, when our kids and our grandkids are watching this, those are going to be the huge life-changing moments. Those are going to be the Luke deciding to go to Alderaan with Ben moments. I'm not saying that there aren't instantly iconic moments, but they are organic and they are earned. Along those same lines, I'd say this movie lacks self-awareness, and I say that in a positive way. It's not really aware that it's a Star Wars movie. It drops you in the story about 30 years after Return of the Jedi, basically in real time, and you're just there. There's no one giving you an explanation of everything that's happened since Return of the Jedi. You see the story through the eyes of the new characters, you know what they know, and you learn what they learn, which isn't a whole lot. For the most part, that's okay. There are a few things that I do think need to explain better. Specifically, the relationship between the First Order, the Republic, and the Resistance. You never really get an understanding of who's really in control, who has the power, and who's pulling the strings. So there's certain moments where I don't understand the stakes because I don't know what the impact is going to be on the whole big picture, galaxy-wide. But other than that, as far as the characters go and the backstories, I think it was better for the overall story that we didn't have every single little thing explained to us. There's not a whole lot of fan service in this movie. Of course, when the classic characters show up, there's a moment and there's a little almost wink to the camera, but they don't linger or focus on those moments. And if anything, I think the movie goes too far the other direction to avoid obvious fan service. There are certain times when you're watching you think, okay, this would be a great moment to reference this or call back to that, or maybe these two characters at this point in time should have had a moment together. Even with some of the musical cues, and of course John Williams' score is fantastic, but there are certain times you're like, okay, this moment, this is the music that should be playing, and it's not. But the movie, like I said, is almost going out of its way to keep the focus on what's new. Speaking of what's new, the new characters and the new actors are fantastic. Daisy Ridley, John Boyega, and Oscar Isaac do a great job as Rey, Finn, and Poe. They are the new Han, Luke, and Leia of the new trilogy. Obviously not the same characters, a lot of differences, a lot of juxtaposition, but they are a new main 3, and the series is in good hands with them. You care about them, you like them, they're funny, they're real, they're interesting, and you just find yourself rooting for all 3 of them. Especially Daisy Ridley in particular does a great job as Rey, really steals the show. And I'm really excited to see her progress as that new Luke Skywalker main character and watch her hero's journey along these next 3 movies. Adam Driver is great as Kylo Ren, really fits in that pantheon of great Star Wars villains, and his performance is just really solid. This is spoiler-free, I'm not going to tell you anything about him, but I will tell you that as the story progresses and you learn more about him, the more his performance makes sense. So I think when I go back and watch this movie again, I'm going to enjoy watching him even more, understanding everything that's going on and everything that he's doing. I'll go as far to say this. If they were unable to re-sign the classic original characters, if they couldn't bring back Mark Hamill, Harrison Ford, or Carrie Fisher, and the movie was focused solely on these new characters, I still would have loved this movie. That's how good a job they do of carrying it. And they are going to be able to carry this franchise into the next 3 movies and beyond. The characters are so well written, and you'll fall in love with them just like you did with Han, Luke, and Leia. Now let's talk for a minute about Han, Luke, and Leia. Harrison Ford especially, great in this movie. He's back full force as Han Solo, picking up right where he left off. He's not phoning it in. He's not collecting a paycheck. He is all in this movie, and he's captured that character once again. A lot of great moments between him and the new characters, him and Chewie, and you just feel like, wow, Harrison Ford, Han Solo is back on screen. Carrie Fisher also does great as General Leia now, and the moments between her and Han are some of the best in the movie. Mark Hamill, the big mystery of the movie, he's not in the poster, he's not in the trailer, where is he? I'm not going to spoil that, so We won't talk about that right now. But I will say everybody's there for a purpose. Nobody's in this movie just say, hey, remember me from Star Wars? This is Star Wars 2. They all make sense in the story. Now, of course, there is a lot of coincidence of everybody getting together and being in the right place at the right time. But that's all the Star Wars movies. A lot of coincidence bringing characters together. Special effects were solid. Much was made about the fact they were going back to a lot of practical effects, and you see it there. Real explosions are taking place. There's real fire. The stormtroopers are actual people in costumes. Actors are on set with other actors instead of just standing by themselves behind a cartoony-looking green screen. You get that feel, that realism, that grittiness that you had with the original trilogy. My one little complaint is the fact there are a few scenes that have big groups of alien races, and you don't see any familiar Star Wars races. You see a lot of new aliens that I'm sure we'll get to know as time goes on, but I wish they would have thrown in a Twi'lek or Rodian just to show that cohesion of the overall Star Wars universe. And the fact that I'm nitpicking something that small shows you how good this movie was. J.J. Abrams, excellent directing. Not a whole lot of lens flares if you're worried about that. The movie looks great. The big battle scenes, the more intimate fight scenes, and just overall, it's a fantastic looking movie. Does a great job of blending the old and the new. It updates the saga without making it cheesy CGI, keeping a lot of the classic feel to it. He did a fantastic job. I'm actually disappointed he's not doing episode 8 because I think he did a great job with this movie, and I would have liked to have seen what he did continued on. Overall, it's a fantastic movie. Go see it again, see it one more time after that. I give it 4 stars. I really can't talk about where I fit it in with the rest of the saga right now because it's so fresh. Definitely better than all the prequels. I think you can fit it on a list anywhere with the other 4, and it would make perfect sense. It fits right in. It's a great continuation, and I'm really looking forward to seeing what happens next. It's a great Star Wars movie. I don't know what else we could ask for. Well, I could ask for episode 8 to come out like next week so I can go see it now and not have to wait 2 years. But other than that, Star Wars is back. We have a great Star Wars movie in the 21st century, guys. Go see it now.